Hey, I'm continuing the series on asking you to ask me questions about what makes me tick, what makes me think, perspective on life. And I have heard from tons of people over the course of my life, even the last few years, and they really want to get inside of this passionate, energetic person. And so I'm thrilled that you guys are already starting to chime in, and this is really a video series that I can answer one or two questions at a time. And really my heart in it is for you to better get to know who I am, so I can encourage you and inspire you that much more for whatever life throws at you or brings to you. Hopefully that makes sense. So this question is from Ryan. Ryan's right outside of Chicago, Illinois. And this question is, which I think is a really fascinating question. Do you ever evaluate your own self-narcissism? And I think that's a really good question. I think the average person, myself included, we can't help but make certain things about ourselves. For instance, what's in it for me? Have you ever heard that? If you haven't heard it outwardly, you probably thought of it subconsciously far more than you'd even believe. What's in it for me? The average person wants to know what's in it for me. If I hang out with this person, what's in it for me? If I start this business, if I write this book, if I come up with these online courses, if I speak in front of large crowds, small crowds, what's in it for me? In other words, how am I going to gain? How am I going to benefit? And because of that, and I'm involved in that too, just like you are. We're human beings. And so how do I really keep that in check? That's the big question. And I'm so grateful that years ago, I got over myself. And here's what I mean by that. I used to, in the early stages of speaking and becoming being a business owner and having a positive influence over the lives of people, I used to get my fix used to be of like what people thought when I spoke, or the people that would come up to me afterwards, or the larger the crowds, the better I felt. And then only coming out of it, I was ready for the next big event, the next big thing, and then I'd ride that wave into the next one, and it was never satisfying enough. Until one day, I had this epiphany. I was coming home right after a fairly large speaking engagement, and I was obsessing about how I felt, how I did, what people thought, how I thought people thought, And I had this epiphany like, are you over yourself? Really, like, is it all about you? And it stopped me in my tracks, because that obsessive train of thought that, not just during my speaking engagements, but certainly coming out of, it was all about me, how I felt, what I thought other people thought. And it drove me up the wall, this obsession about performance, about being famous, about getting my name in the paper, so to speak. And it was tiring. There was this unhealthy striving. I was oftentimes, when I was caught up in that rat race, I couldn't help but compare myself to other people. So now I was caught in the trap of comparison. And I was trying to be the best me that I possibly could, certainly because I had a heart to benefit other people, but ultimately to make it more about myself so I could feel good, so I could be happier. And it wasn't satisfying enough. I really wasn't content. And coming out of that one evening driving back where I had that epiphany, that started a new road for me. And the new road was, Rob, get over yourself. And so I don't know if you ever heard this statement before, but you lose your life only to find it. That was the beginning of a process for me to get over Robb Holman. As a matter of fact, what would it look like if Robb Holman no longer existed, but a new person existed that happened to maybe be named Robb Holman, that wasn't here on earth for myself to benefit me, to make me happy, but actually to get under and serve those that I have influenced in their lives. And that started a road for me. So catching you up speed all the way up to today, I have moments, of course. I'm aware though. I'm self-aware of how fast I can go down the road of making it about me. But whatever that thing was, where I was obsessed with me and my own performance and stuff like that, I'm just thankful that that thing is no more, no longer. Is there residue on occasion where I get to be kept in check? Absolutely, because I'm a human being. But I am very grateful that I can honestly say with my heart that I am on this planet not for myself, not to benefit me, but to be an encouraging and inspirational voice to help other people. And so now when I get up to speak or I write a book, or I'm not caught in that imprisonment of making it about me. And so I'm so grateful. I'm thankful for that. And I have people that hold me accountable in my life. And so thank you. That's a great question, Ryan. Hopefully I actually answer that. I think the only other thing I'd mention about, do you ever evaluate yourself about self-narcissism? I think I'm aware of it. And it no longer has a grip on my life. So when it rears its head, that I nip it in the bud really, really quick. And I do that through, again, emotional intelligence, that whole EQ. I do that through other people may bring it to my attention because they love and care about me. And so hopefully that answers your question. Awesome, intriguing, thought-provoking question, Ryan. All right, until next time, you guys, we'll see you. Bye.